Hello, I'm Sonia Headley, and this is my colleague Susan Siegfried. We're cloud sourcing specialists in Vita's Supply Chain Management Directorate. Today we will discuss the procurement of cloud-based solutions, specifically software as a service, or SaaS, and the ECOS process. ECOS stands for Enterprise Cloud Oversight Service, and the main objective of ECOS is to protect Commonwealth data. Please note, a transcript of this training is available with additional information and resources under the Procurement tab of the Vita website.
First, we want to answer the question, what are cloud-based solutions? Cloud-based or SaaS solutions are supplier-hosted rather than on-premise hosted. Instead of downloading a SaaS application to your computer, you access it through the internet or cloud. The SaaS application runs on a provider's cloud infrastructure. Here's some background on ECOS. ECOS was created in 2016 as a response to the direction of Virginia Code Section 2.2-2009A. That code section requires the Commonwealth's Chief Information Officer to direct the development of policies, standards, and guidelines for assessing security risks, determining appropriate security measures, and performing security audits of government electronic information. In 2018, the Governor issued Executive Order 19 that directed agencies to minimize in-house development of custom IT solutions and applications and leverage cloud solutions if recommended by Vita's cloud governance process. EO 19 requires all cloud solutions to be governed by Vita's security and infrastructure policies, standards, and guidelines. It also says that all agency cloud solutions must be obtained through Vita's services unless otherwise approved by the CIO. Please note that agencies have zero delegated authority to procure cloud solutions, which means that all cloud procurements must be approved by Vita.
There are three major components of the ECOS process. One, the cloud service assessment of supplier product. Two, adequate contract language contained in the required cloud terms. And three, continuous oversight by Vita. These three components are based on SEC 525, which is the Hosted Environment Information Security Standard. While other security policies and standards apply to SaaS solutions, the primary security standard is SEC 525. The purpose of this standard is to define the minimum requirements for each agency's information security management program. We will now walk you through a high-level summary of the ECOS process and the 7 steps involved. For additional information, please visit the Procurement tab on the Vita website, where these steps are described in more detail in the transcript. Step 1. Check the ECOS-approved supplier application list to determine whether the supplier and application have already been approved through a previous cloud service assessment. If the supplier is already approved for the application and has remained in ECOS oversight, a new cloud service assessment is not required. If you have any questions about this, please contact Enterprise Services. Step 2. If the supplier and the application have not been approved or have not remained in oversight, the agency designee will download the blank cloud service assessment form from the Vita service portal and send it to the supplier to complete and return. The Vita service portal is located at the following link. Search for Cloud Service Assessment and then scroll to the bottom of the page to Attachment for 1-003, Appendix A, and download the form. Step 3. The supplier submits the completed assessment to the agency designee, who then submits it to Enterprise Services through the Vita Service Portal. Please note, the completed assessment is confidential and may never be publicly disclosed. It should only be shared with the agency procurement lead, project manager, ISO, aider, and/or end user as necessary. Step 4. Once the assessment review is complete, the Vita Cloud Security Architect sends an email to the agency designee with contingent approval, for instance, any resulting security exceptions or contractual requirements. Add any contractual requirements to the cloud terms in the supplier responsibilities section, but do not include the security exceptions as they are highly confidential and must not be publicly disclosed. Assessments are valid for 12 months from approval date as long as the supplier continues to meet all security and governance requirements included in the assessment. Step 5. The agency designee requests the required security exception approvals from VITA Security through Archer, the VITA system of record for maintaining an agency's information related to their applications. Step 6. The agency designee submits a service request through the VITA service portal for ECOS oversight. And finally, Step 7. The agency designee or procurement lead obtains the required cloud terms, cloud services, additional terms and conditions by request to scminfo@vita.virginia.gov. Note: no award can be made until the security exceptions have been approved by VITA and the cloud terms are in final form with VITA approval.
Now we are going to talk about RFPs for cloud solutions. First, there are a couple of preliminary actions to perform. Determine if there is a VITA statewide contract available for your business needs, as agencies must use the statewide contracts if there is one that meets their needs. Next, you must obtain an approved procurement governance request, or PGR, if the total cost of the procurement is over $250,000. The agency aider can assist in ensuring that any other project initiation steps have been taken prior to the submission of the PGR. For more information, please view the VITA review process video under the Procurement tab on the VITA website. Second, include the Cloud Service Assessment form in your RFP for suppliers to complete and submit with their proposals. Third, there is language regarding cloud procurements you should include in the RFP. VITA's RFP template includes the language. If you are not using VITA's RFP template, the language for cloud procurements can be obtained from the tool on VITA's procurement webpage called ECOS Procedure Checklist for Cloud Solution Solicitations and Contracts. We recommend you review this checklist whenever you are doing a cloud procurement. Fourth, there are cloud terms that must be included in the RFP. Request the required cloud terms by emailing scminfo@vita.virginia.gov. It is important to have the most current version of the cloud terms because they are subject to change. Please note that all cloud solicitations must be reviewed by VITA. High-risk cloud solicitations must be reviewed by VITA and your OAG representative. For information on major and high-risk reviews, refer to the VITA review process training video. If there is no RFP, you must still perform steps 1 through 7 of the ECOS process and ensure compliance with any other required VITA procurement policies. Note: we recommend you not use the invitation for bid process for cloud procurements because IFBs are typically non-negotiable. We are now going to go over the steps you follow when awarding a cloud contract with or without an RFP. 1. If there was no RFP for the cloud procurement, the agency should request a copy of the cloud terms from scminfo@vita.virginia.gov and then follow the guidance comments to customize them for your agency's use and send them to the supplier. If there was an RFP, the cloud terms will be in the RFP and do not need to be requested. 2. The supplier returns the cloud terms to the agency with any comments or red lines. The agency then forwards the supplier's version to the assigned VITA cloud sourcing specialist. It is in the best interests of the agency to use VITA's cloud terms only. 3. The assigned VITA cloud sourcing specialist and cloud services manager review the supplier's version and provide feedback to the agency. 4. The agency schedules a negotiation meeting with their stakeholders, the supplier, VITA's assigned cloud sourcing specialist, and cloud services manager, Negotiations continue until conclusion. 5. The agency submits the final version of the cloud terms to the assigned VITA cloud sourcing specialist. Please do not forget that major and high-risk contracts must be reviewed by VITA and your OAG representative. Note, no contract can be awarded until the security exceptions have been approved, the cloud terms are in final form, and VITA has approved them.
In closing, we want to thank you for viewing this training session. We hope you found it informative and useful to you and your agency. Please note, a transcript of this training is available with additional information and resources under the Procurement tab of the VITA website. If you have any questions, you may email us at the addresses shown below.
And just as a reminder, keep
your
your head
head
in
in
the
the clouds.
clouds.